One of my earliest memories was being terrified. One of my earliest memories was being about 4 years old and laying on the couch listening to my dad talk about how the rapture was about to come. Being afraid that I wasn't going to get included and that I wasn't going to get to go to heaven. My dad, like a decent amount of boomers, was an ex-Catholic who, rather than becoming an atheist, which is where some ex-Catholics go, became a born-again Christian. And rapture talk was pretty regular. You know, it wasn't like anything like, oh, this is a big deal. I saw Left Behind when I was a kid. This seems the whole thing. So I tell you that story to say that the people that are on Rapture TikTok that think that the rapture is going to happen in a couple days, you guys are not going to like get them to see the light when it doesn't happen. Okay? I remember this happening in 2011. They were like, oh, it's coming on the 18th. And then it didn't. And then they always find a way. It's like conspiracy theories, guys. Why do you think we call MAGA a cult? When you see the MAGA cult or QAnon coming up with excuses every time something didn't happen and they go trust the plan, that's the same way that people who are obsessed with the rapture and who believe that it's any minute now, when it doesn't happen, they just move the goalposts. They're like, oh, well, actually it was something. Maybe all the red heifers weren't ready. So you understand, this is what Christian Zionism is. It is the main reason why evangelical Christians in the U.S. support the Israeli regime and everything they're doing, because they think that it's all a part of a plan that's about to end. And that is what's so dangerous about these like rapture obsessed evangelicals, is that they excuse any horrific thing that happens in the world as, oh, it's just part of the plan. Oh no, even if their conscience might be telling them this genocide in Gaza is horrific, their indoctrination will tell them, yeah, but it's all part of the plan. God's coming soon. That's how they can dismiss climate change and not care about taking care of the environment, because they think, I'm not going to be here. Never mind the fact that there are multiple verses in Genesis, the very beginning of the Bible, verses like Genesis 1:28 or 2:15 that command us to take care of the land. But let's be for real. Most of them have never read the Bible. So back to the Christian Zionism. It doesn't end well for the Israelis, by the way, in this story. I think a lot of them know that actually, and they just don't care because they don't believe it. And they're happy to use evangelicals as useful idiots. And like all conspiracy theorists, it not happening only bolsters their faith in the next one. So they'll be like, actually, if you look at Revelation, this is why I don't consider evangelical Christianity to be actual Christianity. Like, I consider it to be kind of a American cult. And I say that as somebody who is still a Christian, a non-denominational Christian, because if these people actually read the Bible, they would know that it says multiple times. And I even thought this when I was a fucking kid. I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why are you guys saying this? Matthew 24:36 says, however, no one will know the day or the hour when these things will happen. Not even the angels in heaven or the Son himself. Only the Father knows. This is regarding when Jesus comes back. So the angels don't know. And Jesus doesn't know exactly when he's going to come back yet. Only the Father knows. But Susan in Connecticut knows. And she's prepping her house for it.